Squishy Monster, and today we're gonna whip up a creme brulee, and we're gonna whip it up with some chocolate. The way that I see it is if you can find any excuse to slip in some chocolate, why not do it? So hang out with me and I'll show you exactly how to whip up this surprisingly easy dessert. To begin, I have my pot on medium to low heat, and you want to keep in mind you just want everything to kind of dissolve and come together. You don't want it to boil. So slip in your heavy cream, and I would like to point out that everything is at room temperature, so I set everything out about 20 to 30 minutes before I knew I was going to use it. And then you want to sprinkle this with sugar. This is the part that you want to dissolve, and then you want to tumble in your chocolate, which is what you want to melt. And then I'm going to put in just gonna tip in a little bit of Kahlua. You can also use vanilla, but that spike of coffee is really going to help enhance and bloom that chocolate flavor. And then a little sprinkle of salt. And then give this a whisk and just kind of stay with it. You just want everything to kind of blend and melt together. As far as custards and puddings are concerned, this is really simple. And the second component to this is going to be my egg yolks, which are going to help thicken this mixture. And then I want to take my reserved sugar, sprinkle that in there, and give it a nice whisk. And ultimately, we're going to slowly slide that into our cream, our heated cream mixture. And then it's going to, like I said, thicken it and make it really nice and luxurious. And to give it a step further, we're going to strain it through a fine mesh sieve to make sure everything is really smooth and creamy. When it's achieved kind of like a thick chocolate sauce of sorts, you want to slip in your egg yolks that were whisked together with the sugar. And then just slip it all in there, get a good spatula and scrape it all in there because it's essential to thicken up your creme brulee. There you go. And then give it a nice whisk and make sure you stay with it and whisk it constantly. Just to double ensure that everything goes off without a hitch, I've decided to strain it through a fine mesh sieve like this, but if you're feeling particularly lazy, you can skip this step altogether, especially if you've done a good job of whisking, which I did, but like I said, for the former reason, I'm going to kind of slip it through the sieve and make sure everything is nice and creamy. This next step is definitely essential. You want to make sure you put your ramekins in a casserole dish or a baking dish, whatever you want to use, and you want to slowly pour over some hot water from a recently boiled kettle. This will ensure that your custards cook evenly and don't curdle and don't crack. Kind of like when you bake a cheesecake off, so slowly making sure not to get any of the water in the puddings or the custards. You want to fill up about halfway up the ramekins, and then you want to bake them off. And I have the complete measurements and details and instructions and recipe at my blog, thesquishymonster.com. But essentially you want to pop them into the oven and then take them out while they're still a little jiggly because they'll continue to set as they cool off. Once your creme brulee has adequately chilled in the fridge, it'll finish setting and it won't be wiggly anymore. And this is when, right before you serve, you can caramelize the sugar on top. And I like to use raw sugar for this because the coarseness really helps make a really thick and nice bubbly brown crust. But you can use granulated sugar as well. So you can just liberally sprinkle it over like this. And you can also tap it if you would like to get an even coat. Just kind of shake it around to get every little crevice and corner and surface area because you want, the best thing about creme brulee I think is that crust, that tapping that your spoon into it and just cracking that crust is so much fun, and it's the most delicious part I think. So lots and lots of sugar, and then with your blowtorch, being very, very careful, you want to brulee the top. You may find that this is a labor of love, but lo and behold, you will see eventually the sugar starting to burn and glisten on top like this. So just keep at it and move it around because you want every bit of that to get bruleed. I feel like the hardest part about desserts like this is the wait. For me anyways. So it's finally ready to eat and I am super excited. When you smell baked goods in the air, it's really tempting. But then when you smell that burnt sugar kind of circulating in the air, forget about it. So here is my creme brulee. Love that. Love that crack. Love taking my spoon and cracking into that custard. See how it tastes. That crunch is ridiculous. So I hope you guys give that kahlua a try, because that really enhances that flavor of the chocolate. Chocolate's really bold and buttery and coming through. It's that silky with the crunchy sugar crust. Amazing, classic, and delicious. I hope you guys give this a try. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. This is the Squishy Monster, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.